let's be honest. How many times have you said, it's too cold, I don't have time, I'll go tomorrow? Sounds familiar, right? We all do it. But here is the thing. The longer we stay inside, the louder these excuses get. And the crazy part, the moment you step outside, they disappear. They just disappear. But why do we resist? Science is clear. Stepping outside, even for a few minutes, boosts energy, creativity, mood, and focus. But our brains, they love comfort. And comfort tells us to stay inside. Now, here is something interesting. Studies show that our brain is wired to protect us from discomfort. That's why when you think about stepping outside into the cold, your mind magnifies the inconvenience. It tricks you into thinking it's harder than it actually is. But then when you actually step outside, your body adapts almost instantly. So how do we break the cycle? How do we break the cycle? The small habit that changed everything for me. Let me tell you a little secret. I used to make all the excuses. Really, too tired, too busy, too cold, too hot. I would sit inside scrolling, convincing myself that later was better. But you know what happens when you push something to later? Later turns to never. One day I decided, no thinking, just do. I walked to my balcony for 30 seconds, just 30 seconds. That was it. And you know what? The next day I did it again and again. And soon my brain stopped resisting. Stop! And something fascinating happened. I started to crave that tiny outdoor moment. What began as 30 seconds turned into 5 minutes, then 10 minutes. Then I found myself going for short walks without even thinking about it. That's how habits start. Not with big changes, but with ridiculously small ones. Ridiculously small ones. So now, how to stop making excuses? Let me tell you the 3-step method. Step 1, forget the big goals. Seriously, no pressure. No, I need to go for a 30-minute walk. Nonsense. Just step outside for 2 minutes. That's all. Step outside. Look at the sky, at the clouds, feel the air and breathe. Step 2, tie it to something you already do. You don't need extra time. Just what you need is just to make a tiny shift. You drink your coffee, do it outside. Take a phone call, walk while you talk. Just finished a meal, step out for a moment. It's easy when it's attached to something already in your routine. Like for me, I drink my water outside every morning. Step 3, stop overthinking. Because overthinking is the number 1 killer of action. The moment you catch yourself debating, count down. 3, 2, 1, go. It sounds simple, but it works. The brain does not have time to resist when you move before it argues. Now let's talk about the power of tiny habits. There is a reason why tiny habits work so well. Really, Fogg, a behavior scientist at Stanford, explains in his book Tiny Habit that the key to lasting change is to start so small that it feels effortless. The smaller the habit, the lower the resistance. Instead of aiming for this 30-minute walk, start with stepping outside for 10 seconds, 20 seconds. When you make the habit ridiculously small, your brain stops seeing them as a challenge and allows them to grow naturally over time. And the best part, success builds momentum. When you succeed at a small habit, your brain gets a dopamine hit, making you want to continue. Over time, these micro habits turn into major lifestyle changes. One of the simplest ways to make a habit stick is to attach it to something you already do daily. That's a technique called habit stacking. This concept, made famous by James Clear in Atomic Habits, is all about using existing habits as triggers for new ones. Like for me, the example of brushing the teeth and planks. If you already drink your coffee every morning, stack a new habit to it, and after I make my coffee, I will step outside for 30 seconds. If you already brush your teeth, stack a habit onto it. After, like you will say to yourself, after I brush my teeth, I will open my window and take a deep breath of fresh air. By linking them to things you already do, they become automatic without requiring extra effort. This is how habits stick effortlessly. Think about it. Now, what happens when you actually do this? Let me tell you what happens when you stop making excuses and just go, just act. You immediately feel the shift. Your brain gets a tiny reset. Your energy lifts. You breathe differently. And over time, this builds into a habit that completely changes your health, your mindset, and your daily rhythm. It's not about being perfect. We can't be perfect. It's about being consistent, showing up, even if it's for a minute. That's what makes the difference. That's it. Now, here is my challenge for you. What's your first 2-minute outdoor moment? Decide now, not later. Now, not tomorrow. Now. Write it in the comments. Putting it in written makes it real. It's tangible. It's your first step toward committing. And who knows? Your decision might inspire someone else to start too. What do you think? So, no excuses this time. Yalla, go outside.